Hi there. So I want to share a tool with you today that I absolutely love. It's for Mac users. If you're on a PC, message me. There is another tool that you can use. But today I want to talk about VoiceInk. I hate typing, but I have to type. I love communicating. But there's always things in the way, and particularly this stupid thing. I don't like typing on my keyboard. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, oh Bob, I can dictate to my computer already. But this is different, trust me. What I love about VoiceInk is it knows which app I'm in and it knows what type of text to create in that tool. So if I'm writing an email, it knows to structure it as an email. If I'm in WhatsApp, it knows to structure it as a chat message. If I'm writing a Google Doc or if I'm in ChatGPT, it knows to put structured text in there. If I dictate a list to it, it doesn't need me to tell it that it's a list. It will make it a list because it knows it can anticipate this. And what it's doing is it's taking my transcription, it's processing it through some sophisticated AI prompts that I can customize and delivering me super fast results. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. But before I do this, I want to give a shout out to the developer of this tool. The tool's called VoiceInk. What I love about it, because there are many tools that do this, but they sell software the way we used to buy software when we were kids. You pay for it once and it's yours. No subscriptions, no constant sting in the tail. And I really, really appreciate this. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So the first thing I want to show you is how I use it for an email. This is my most frequent use case. If you're anything like me, I get a couple of dozen emails a day, and they all take a bit of time to respond to, especially with my slow typing. So here, I'm just going to quickly draft an email. I'll show you how this works. Hi Jimmy, it's Bob. I'm thinking about going to a Star Trek convention next year. I've never been before, and I need you to tell me what I have to expect. Do I wear costume? Do I need a phaser and a tricorder? Should I dress as an officer? Should it be security? Should it be fleet? Should I be a bridge officer? I don't know where to begin, Jim. I need your help. Also, do I need to bring my own Spock? Or will there be Spocks there that I can hang out with? You're my resident Star Trek convention expert, so please let me know. I'm not going to a Star Trek convention, but this gives me something to talk about while the email is being uploaded to the cloud, and it comes back down here as a nicely structured email. So very occasionally you'll get an artifact like a space there. But I'm just looking through this and I think this is a brilliant email. I believe they may have misspelled Spock. Perhaps not. Anyway, you can see my point. This is super fast and it knows it's in my email app. It's structured it as an email. It knows it has to add a greeting and a sign off at the end, and to break my text up into readable chunks. So let's have a look at VoiceInk. Here, this is the app. You can see I've recorded 2,234 times. I've dictated nearly 100,000 words, and I'm dictating at 70 words a minute. And that's because I actually slow down when I'm dictating. I'm not super fast, but I've saved myself nearly 500,000 keystrokes. With my little fingers, that's really a big deal. So other use cases, for me, things like LinkedIn. One of the things LinkedIn is really looking for is engagement. Not just about what you post, but how do you engage with the rest of the world? That has a direct impact on the algorithm and how they support you. But not only that, the people you support notice. So here, for example, my friend Kat has written a book. She's been at a book fair. I might normally skim past this, but I'd like to be more thoughtful and I'd like to be more attentive. So here, I can drop in a comment and I can say, hey Kat, that looks like a big deal. As somebody who does big keynotes, I can imagine that it's easy to think you're a great, confident speaker. But this looks super intimate, and when your work is being judged so closely, up close and personal, I can only imagine that's quite intimidating. Anyway, I can't believe I haven't invited you to come on my podcast and talk about your book yet, and I would love to do that. Hopefully we can speak soon. Now, that's quite a lot of words, but it took me all of 5 seconds. Now, cat has had 6 comments on this post. It was posted 1 week ago. That's okay. Let me read it quickly. Comment. There we go. Now, I could blast through this and I could say, so Dan Bennett here, for example, he does an amazing job of people looking ho-hum on video and making them look amazing with home studios. So, wow, Dan, another incredible transformation. Can only imagine that this had a significant business benefit for Jordan. Great job. Again, another post, bang that out. Comment, there we go. Similarly, we can use this in ChatGPT. I want to draft a LinkedIn post about how building a personal brand is a little bit like building a castle. It sits on a hilltop as a shining beacon for everyone to see. Some castles are dark and gloomy, some are very personal, some have glittering fairy tale flags above them. What I also love about the castle metaphor is it aligns itself with all kinds of iconography and metaphors from myths and legends that we can play with. So I'd like to create a LinkedIn post about this. Go nuts. So one of the things with all ChatGPT style tools is the more you give them to work with, the better job they do. And being able to prompt like this in seconds without having to type gives you a level of creative freedom that's lacking friction, which is something I really like. Normally when I prompt an AI tool, I'd give it a lot more to work with than this. But you can see already it's doing a decent job with that. The job it's doing is not the point. The point is removing friction, removing the need to type, removes a barrier, and you can express yourself much more freely. You can be attentive to people more readily, and you just do a better job more quickly. So I hope you're as excited as I am by this tool. Honestly, this tool allows me to go so much faster. It allows me to be so much more efficient. It allows me to be so much more attentive, so much more thoughtful, and much, much more creative. If that matters to you, then you will love VoiceInk too.